Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effects podcast. As you can see, things are a little bit different today. We thought, end of year Q&A, we'd show our faces for this one. But yeah, of course, I'm here with Liam. We're going to dive into your questions. Maybe Bella will get an appearance. We'll have some pet debuts. I know you've already probably seen Ruby and Bailey before. But yeah, mate, did you want to take the first one?
Yeah, I'm going to do it in no particular order, so I'm just going to go first here. We have Glitch Entertainment, who says, I've not read these, by the way, so these are completely new. Another year gone already. Looking forward to all the content moving on into the next year. Wanted to ask if there was one game you could go back and play for the first time again, and which would it be? A very good question. I'll let you kickstart, Jack.
Ooh. It's a good question. If you're talking about like games from like the realm that we cover, I feel like it's probably Until Dawn or Heavy Rain. There's just something about that period, because I literally played those two games within like a couple of years or whatever. But they've had enough time for like nostalgia. So certain DPA ones, Detroit, The Quarry, I've all played them recently, so they wouldn't necessarily fit into that nostalgia realm yet. Talking about like games in general, it's got to be LA Noire, mate. God tier.
Yeah, it's such a good game, and it holds up like now. I mean, maybe not actually with the facial expressions on some of them, but no, good choice. I snap for me. It's got to be Until Dawn. Like blind playthrough, one of the best gaming experiences I ever had. Sticking by my choices, it's just such a breathtaking game. I wonder if like Supermassive games will ever be able to top that project. It was that good, and you could argue no, they won't. To me, it's just the best game Supermassive games have created. And whenever I would show the game to someone else and watch them play it, I would be so happy for them, but I'd also be equally very envious, because it's just less good when you know what happens. You just can't be that blind playthrough experience. It was glorious. So yeah. Thank you very much, Glitch. Great question.
We've said this before, haven't we? That we wish that we could get hypnotized to like forget it and then go back.
Big time.
Yeah. So the next question is from Casey, who says, "Hey lads, so it's another year over. What are some of your favourite moments from the moment you started the channel together? From discovering your channel a year and a half ago. There's been so many great things you lads have done, but what would be your favourite?"
Favourite's tough to sort of narrow down to a moment, because I've just enjoyed the experience in general, that I never really sort of call out to myself, that one particular moment was great. Obviously the fact that we managed to interview Simon Bond as a highlight, that was great. Just doing our general analysis videos, I really enjoy doing them. The Halloween quiz was a highlight as well, I'd say. Jack did a stunner on that one. I have to say though, if I had to cherry pick a random moment, it isn't my favourite. I'd have to think long and hard about the question, but I'm just going to go ahead and say the Royal Rumble. A lot of hard work gets put into those videos, honestly. And we put it out as a broadcast for the Women's Supermassive Games one this year. And it was just so fun seeing everyone in the live broadcast reacting to the match as we commentated over it. So yeah, that is definitely certainly, it might just be my favourite moment of the year.
Yeah, honestly, same with me. I feel like Royal Rumble, Halloween quiz, I had a lot of fun building that quiz, and it was just great to get some well-known sort of characters that we've got on the channel before to come into it. But honestly, there is something about our analysis series when we're playing blind. So when we did The Quarry, which really come out of nowhere, and we sort of play a bit of the game, don't we? We play a chapter, and then we'll get together and do a recording and analyse it. We'll predict things, theorise, and then we'll go back. It's just like a full throttle weekend doing that sort of thing. I do love those moments as well. So yeah. You, Casey?
Next one is from Justa. No idea if someone has already asked us, but if you could pick a non-choice based story game as your favourite, what one would it be? Jack, I might have to throw it to you while I think, because I feel like you have one in the bank while I don't, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether you can technically call it choice-based, because it does have choice options in there, but it's what I've already mentioned, LA Noire. If you know me, you know that I love that whole era, like the vintage sort of feel to it. The 30s, you've got the men in the sort of the pinstripe suits, the women, the neon lights and stuff in America. Really, really cool. And it's got a banging story as well and some nice gameplay features. So yeah, for me, LA Noire easily.
Yeah, it is a really good game. I might go a little. Maybe I'm gonna. There probably is one that I will disagree with when I think back tomorrow, but right now, if I have to think off the top of my head, Assassin's Creed 2, it was just such a revolutionary game to me. It's set in the Renaissance period. There's just something special about first playing as Ezio Auditore and running down the streets of Italy and just discovering like Florence and Venice and Tuscany. Like Assassin's Creed 2's got to be up there for me. Great question.
Good stuff. So the next one's from Starfruit, who says, kind of a weird question, but what is your guys' favourite horror movie and why?
Anyone who's watched the channel a lot knows I constantly mention it, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, it depends. Like, you've got modern horror and old horror, but if I have to, like, really pick, I'm going to go old school and pick a classic here. If I had to pick modern, it would probably be something like Us, one of the Jordan Peele horror films, maybe, like Get Out or something. But I don't know, I think I'm going to have to go Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's just the fact it was illegal in the UK for ages, so it was such a scary title growing up in the UK because we weren't allowed to watch it when we were like younger, especially, and like there's just something so raw and real about that film. It's just 5 people in a truck going down a country road in the USA, and then a bunch of like back hillbilly cannibals like chase the person down, and then Leatherface is this terrifying flawed character. But yeah, it was just so dark and real, and it really struck a chord with me. Obviously, like every horror, it gets recycled about 10 times to the point it kills it. But there's just something about that classic 70s film that is just so gritty and brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good shout. I think for me, can you really count it as a horror? I don't know, but this past year, I've become quite a big fan of the Scream franchise. So I actually saw Scream 4. Must have been a couple of years, but obviously Scream 6 was in cinema recently. I went and saw that. But I think I'm going to say Scream 4, and I feel like, you know, some people might say it's not a horror because it does have like campy elements to it. But yeah, I mean, I do like my slashers, but I like the fact that one of the cast is Ghostface, or maybe more than one, because of course you can get more than one killer in them films. So yeah, I'd probably say Scream. If I was leaning on the more serious side, I would pick the Saw franchise. I do love my traps.
Next question is by Robbie0208. You've asked 3 questions. For time and fairness, we're going to pick out just one. We're going to go for your third question. What type of mythology creatures you guys would like to see in Supermassive... Sorry, my webcam had a mare there. So I'll say it again. What type of mythology creatures you guys would like to see in future games made by Supermassive? So, Jack, I'll let you start.
Got 2 actually. One, Medusa, because I think you could really have some interesting visuals with that, like the snakes for the hair, and obviously you never know, you could bring back like a don't move sequence. I think, isn't Medusa the one that like turns you to stone or whatever?
Yeah,
like if she sees you or something, so you could like play around with that. I think also like the Minotaur in the Labyrinth would be pretty cool as well. So yeah, they're my 2 shouts.
Very good. I mean, I've just got to go basic, and I'm going to go with the Celtic thing here and pick a Kelpie. But, like, yeah, the Medusa, very good shout. You can definitely have some really cool Supermassive Games mechanics with that. So, yeah, I'd love to see that as well.
We're going to move on to Tipsy, who asks, would you ever consider a second channel with analysis videos like you currently do, but for films and shows? Perhaps films and shows that encompass the same thriller, mystery, horror elements that you gravitate towards in the video games that you pick to play on this channel?
Honestly, like, I think probably not. Like, the channel very much is like a video game based channel for choice based games. It is our thing. Maybe in future as one-off spin-offs, it depends if you guys would like to see that. Because, you know, like, for example, I can see Jack and I doing some really cool analysis on, say, like, a show which we both love, which is Black Mirror. I don't know if there are any Black Mirror fans like that, but, yeah, I'm sure Jack and I would love to, you know, discuss those episodes, like, in abundance. But, yeah, maybe not for in the near future anyway, I will be honest with you there.
Yeah, because I was going to say, we talk about these things when we meet up, don't we? Like your Black Mirrors and sort of TV shows like that. But yeah, I feel like it's a never say never, but probably not likely. Like, to be honest, like we spend enough time like doing this channel anyway. Like we're busy people, and it's sort of like trying to get everything done to get put out as much as we do, you know. So and we've still got so much to cover in terms of like choice-based games. So yeah, I feel like it would probably be a while for Tipsy.
Next, we have Cyes, who has picked 3 questions. We're going to pick the one we felt was the most interesting, which is your first one. If there was one thing you could change about your favourite Supermassive Games title, what would it be and why? So my favourite Supermassive Games title has to be Until Dawn. If I had to change one thing, it might be, in my opinion, tacky jump scares. When it comes to horror, I prefer eerie. Like the sanatorium, walking down the dark hallways where it's not getting you, but like there's that fear that it's there. I felt Until Dawn had too many tacky jump scares, like when you're looking through like the telescope thing and then there's just a random face or a Wendigo that pops out at you, or just looking through a window and there'll be a random like puppet that will just show up. There was too much of that in my opinion, and I think it went overkill on the jump scares, so I would certainly reduce those. Although I'm sure there is probably a better answer I could think of, but off the top of my head, that is what's coming to me now. How about you, Jack?
I think for me, it's probably what we did the video on. I think I'd sort of tighten the plot a little bit and try and make it a bit more sense in terms of Josh being the psycho who he targets. Like the fact he goes after Chris, who's passed out with him, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the whole idea of to try and create something traumatic to bring them together, it's just a little bit weak for me. I think I'd probably he'd have to go after Mike, I reckon. So yeah, that's what I'd pick.
Great. They also said opinion on trees, which I'll leave for you.
Hate them. Absolutely hate them. Waste of space.
Jack's gonna become like the CEO of like a paper company, just chopping them down. Like, give me money.
That's my life. That's my life aim. So next we've got from Javin Scruggs, who says, what in your opinion would be an interesting location for a story in another choice-based game? A forest with a killer and other supernatural stuff, a cruise ship with humanoid sea creatures, or a mysterious island where experiments are being conducted by an insane scientist. What do you reckon, mate?
Out of those 3, which I love by the way, I'm going to actually agree with Jack on this one and say that maybe reduce the trees a little bit. Supernatural and trees probably a little overdone, and I've seen that before. Sea creatures invading like the ship might be a little too close to Man of Medan. But your third idea, now that sounds like a title of a game I want to play. Get me a mad scientist on a mysterious island, you know, because like it's quite vague there. You could do a lot with that. So yeah, I really want to see what would unfold there. So yeah, out of the 3 you've pitched, I'm picking mad scientists on an island.
Fine up. I'm probably going to pick the cruise ship with sea creatures. I feel like the first one's very Until Dawn-esque, and maybe like the last one is Devil in Me-esque. And yeah, I suppose you could say that the cruise ship is like Man of Medan, but I don't know, sort of humanoid sea creatures. I sort of want to see what that looks like. So yeah, I'll go for that one.
Next, we've got Introvert Vibes. Are there any horror movies in particular that you would like to have a Supermassive game based off of? I would definitely love an interactive game based on one of my favourite movies, Happy Death Day. Oh, good choice. Oh, I have to think, because I'd love to just say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because like, although it's my favourite, you could definitely make some good things work, like which way you go, like whether you hide from the killer, like, you know, run away. There's certainly like a bunch of cool stuff there. Weirdly though, random shout, but I'd love to see some kind of choice-based game in a horror film such as Midsummer. That could work really well.
I feel like I'm going to have to cheat a little bit and say I probably wouldn't want it based on a film, but certainly like take some like IP from it. And I'm going to go back there again. I'm going to go to Scream, and I know that there's rumours for it. So like I'm sort of like a big advocate for it. Like I'd love to see like a Scream Supermassive game. I think that would be amazing. And then again, I'm picking Saw. You know, the puzzles, solving the traps. I know that there has been Saw games. I don't think they follow the movies, but I just didn't play them when they were on Xbox 360. So maybe modernise that.
I thought you were going to say The Thing then, but nah, good shouts.
Oh shit, yeah. All right, I'll be greedy. I'll add The Thing in there as well.
yeah. All right, lad.
Next question's from Uma Puma, who says, "You guys have found success quickly. What do you praise your success to, and what makes your channel different from the rest?"
Oh, that's actually it's a really sweet comment. Thank you very much, Uma. I appreciate that. I think I've always said this to Jack, but I do think a reason, you know, like, I say success. I hate saying it because it sounds big-headed, and like, in no means do we actually make money off of this. Like, we make like 14p each. Sometimes it's like, you know, nothing. We still have to have our day jobs. We're not quite YouTubers yet, but I don't know. Like, one thing I do think, you know, like, we get real attention on is just the fact that there's 2 of us doing it. It's just the fact as well that, like, Jack and I have known each other for nearly a decade now, I think. So there's existing chemistry there, and I think that reflects in the videos. But we have done the odd solo video, haven't we? And I struggle with it. Like, some of the videos just sound dead. Like, I'm just speaking into a microphone by myself. There's so many people who talk about, like, or there's so many content creators out there that do it solo. And I actually respect them so much because I don't know if I'd have the motivation to do that. So there's a combo of that, just the fact that Jack and I bring different perspectives to the table, we bounce off one another. But I also think as well, like, we just try to keep things really fresh. Like, it's not just analysis videos. Every now and then, you know, we'll do like a song parody. Every now and then there'll be like a discussion video. And then, you know, we'll just put a load of characters in a WWE ring and let them fight. And I just think it's just constantly different. And if you're a fan, you probably never know what you're going to expect around the corner. So yeah, I definitely think that helps.
I think honestly the same, all of the above. I think as well, I think because, you know, we are adults now, like, we do have busy lives, we have to be quite efficient with our time. So when we do get together, we tend to like, and I think that partly comes into why as well, but we're quite consistent as well. Like, you guys get like a couple of videos a week, you might get the odd stream, you get shorts every week as well. So we're like constantly putting content out there. And you've got to allow, like, when it comes to YouTube and stuff, you've got to allow it time, you know, and for it to build up and stuff. And then, yeah, like, there's, you know, we do try to do things different. Like, we want to do fun stuff as well as the sort of the more sort of like dry, sort of serious stuff when we do like analysis and stuff. So yeah, that's probably why for me. Without boring you, I feel like I could go on for like 15 minutes explaining why, but do you know what I mean? It's unpermitted.
Merits its own video. We're gonna have an hour-long special about why we're great. Yeah. Next question we have is from Vanda1103. Which game in Supermassive Games lineup do you think would be the most likely to survive if you were one of the characters, and which do you think have the worst shot of surviving if you're a character? I think we had this one in the last one, and I think, I mean, I'll refresh it again though, because it still is a really good question that I do love, and I'll just refresh. I think most likely to survive, I think we ended up picking Man of Medan, because a lot of it is in your head. And when I was a kid and I used to go on ferries a lot, I mostly hung outside. I wouldn't be hallucinating. I'd be getting a lot of fresh air anyway. So I'd probably say Man of Medan most likely to survive. Least likely to survive, I mean, it's got to be House of Ashes, right? If you fall down and there's those vampire bat creatures, like, I'm not a soldier, like, with a gun. I think that I'm fucked, like, you know. So yeah, I think House of Ashes most likely to survive. House of Ashes least.
I think least likely House of Ashes definitely. You're underground, it's dark, you've got bat creatures that can see you and jump you and fly at you and X, Y, and Z. But I think I might change my answer to Little Hope, but on the proviso that everything that you see is real and it's not in someone's head. Because those creatures are fucking slow, man. Like, you could, I called back to that scene with like Daniel and Taylor, and it's just like walking like this, and they're just sprinting away, you know. So if there was no fog or any of that, I'd probably pick Little Hope, because I could just easily outrun the villain. Okay, so Dark Tiger's asked us quite a few questions here, so we're going to just pick out a couple. The first one being is, how are you guys doing, and how is life treating you? Which is very sweet of you, Dark Tiger. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Next question. Yeah, I mean, I'm all right, honestly. I don't know really what to say, because it's like, it's just been such a busy year doing a lot of channel stuff. But yeah, like, honestly, like, not great, not awful. You know, I'm just kind of stagnant around the middle. But don't worry, I'm gonna jinx it and say 2024 will be my year. How about you, Jack? You got engaged, so yeah.
Yeah. It's been a very good year. Like Liam said, yeah, I got engaged, so very happy. We're in a house. We've got a dog. Very settled. Job's really good as well. Arsenal are top of the Premier League, so I'm delighted about that. And yeah, Liam's a Liverpool fan. So, but yeah, otherwise everything's great, and I'm just enjoying it. Oh, we have a pet cameo, Bailey.
Yeah, you coming up? Up.
It's funny. It's funny because Bella has literally just walked in as well, and she's now sat beneath me again.
Right. If you chew your paws, I'm coming for you. Okay. You can stay, but the moment I see you chewing your paws, fucking off downstairs, all right? But I love you. You carry on looking cute. Right, as it was.
And then, so the second question we wanted to answer was basically, how did you promote the channel? So, Dark Tiger, she's writing, or he's writing a book and looking to promote and get it out there. Any advice would be great. Thanks in advance. Before we answer, first of all, best of luck with it, Dark Tiger. You've become like a consistent channel member now, so it'd be really good to see and hear from you as to how it gets on. But honestly, yeah, it's just pick up the social media platforms. Like, I know we've probably mentioned it before, but because this is like a two-pronged project, like Liam tends to take like a lot of the editing side of things. So naturally, to try and balance things out, I'll take the comments and I'll do like a lot of the marketing stuff. So we just created a Twitter account, a Reddit account, an Instagram account. We're now on Twitch as well, so we're just trying to slowly expand, and just hope that things work out and people get drawn to our channel, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Like, honestly, that's the thing, because I think like it's a two-person project, and I very much do the background stuff. Jack does the forefront stuff. So like, it's honestly Jack's work. Like, Jack's amazing at like getting on the different platforms, promoting the videos. All our stuff goes out on Reddit, Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, Instagram, the works for it. On my side, I guess, like, I do the thumbnails, and when I started, the thumbnails looked fucking shit. I'm not gonna lie. Really dreadful thumbnails. But it's a skill that I'm getting better and better at. And in my opinion, the thumbnails are just getting constantly better, and that is such an important part of YouTube, of like grabbing the attention of the viewer so they click on. So I feel like, getting better at Photoshop's a good thing. I know that doesn't really translate to your book, but I hope that does go well, like Jack said. Let us know when you release it, because I will buy a copy. Sonia. Dark Tiger also asked, how did you guys meet? Tell us the story. Okay, so when Jack and I met, it was the first year at uni, so I would have been 18 years old. I think Jack would have been 19. We went to Coventry University, and we were in the same accommodation building, and we were both the boys of floor 7. There were 14 other lads on that floor. It was an all boys floor. And in the UK at university, you start off with a thing called Freshers Week, which is just a week before you have any lessons. You just go out, meet everyone, get hammered, party. It's the UK way. I think I got to uni and I was really ill, so the first night I had off, I just recovered in bed. I was just ill. I could hear everyone partying around me. One of them would have been Jack. I think the second night Jack rested and I went out. So I think Jack and I actually kept missing each other when we went to university. But I think the first time I met you, Jack, was when I think I was just having a bit of a lonely day. Didn't have any mates yet. I was just walking around trying to find my feet. And then I went up the floor, and then I just heard a football match on, and I just thought, I'm going to be confident, fuck it. And I just knocked on the door, and there was a football match, and Jack and I bonded over a football game of Leicester beating Man U, a club we both hate. 5-3, I think the score was. And yeah, like, it just kind of went from there, really. But the specific moment, and you'll probably remember this as well, Jack, that I knew, like, oh yeah, I like this guy, was when you just got in the lift one time. And I thought, like, yeah, this guy's alright, but I didn't know much about you. And then you just said to me, do you know TellTale the Walking Dead game? And my eyes just lit up. Because, like, that is something, like, I kind of usually keep these kind of games that I enjoy to myself, Like, I don't really lead conversations with, oh, do you play Until Dawn? So when you said that to me, my eyes lit up. And, yeah, I didn't know, 10 years later we'd be doing a podcast. But, yeah, here we are.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah.
The funny thing about that though, I can't quite remember the events now myself, but I'm pretty sure this was back in the day when like I checked Facebook on my laptop, which seems unthinkable now because it would be on your phone, wouldn't it? But when you like pages, it sometimes comes up the side, down the side of the news feed. I swear you liked a page that was related to it. And the thing is, you're right, like these games are quite niche. So whereas you can go up to someone and say, oh, do you play GTA? Do you play COD? And they'll be like, yeah. These are really niche. So if you was to go up to someone. So then when I saw it, I was like, oh, damn, like he's played The Walking Dead. So like when I next see him, I'm going to have to ask him. Probably was like really weird, just like out of nowhere, getting into a lift asking. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it though, because I wouldn't shut up afterwards. I was like, "There's this, and this. You have to play this game and this game." And then I was like, "There's this game called Until Dawn. You're playing it." Obviously, a bit of a side tangent, but like a funny story. I think probably the same week or like a few weeks afterwards, there was that Halloween party, and I think that was my first night out with you, probably, where it was with our floor, and someone told us that if you had a costume, you get in for free. That wasn't the case, so we rock up to this club, the only ones in costume. And Jack was the cheapest Dracula you'd ever seen. It was a costume you ensembled with for about £1.50. Like a cape and like a plastic mask you could rip in half. And I was a priest. And at one point I went bathroom and came out and everyone ditched me. So I was a priest alone in a nightclub and I couldn't find anyone, and it was the worst experience ever.
It was so bizarre because I started going around telling people I'm Count Jackula. That was like my little line, right? But the stupid thing is that I remember, you know, when you're working your way through a club, like through a crowd or whatever, I distinctly remember someone saying, "Oh, Dracula's turned up." I was like, it's the most surreal sort of experience as you're walking through like this shitty mask and cape. There was just someone there. Like, oh, it's Dracula, he's turned up, sort of thing. Bizarre.
I just had like, oh, church is down the road, mate. I was like, yeah, good one. I heard it like 5 times. I was like, you're not original. But I'll just quickly jot through a lot of Dark Tiger's questions here. So, would we play games with our fans? Yes, of course, given the opportunity. Where in Britain do you guys live? The southwest. I can't tell you. I have to kill you. I don't want to get people at my door because that's going to happen. What are my favourite colours? Don't really have one, probably red. What are your favourite non-pet animals? I'm going to go with the mighty humble penguin. What religion do you believe in, if any? I'm agnostic. I don't know. I don't bash anyone for having a religion, being atheist. I'm just kind of on the fence. Do you believe in destiny and fate? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think so. And what are your hobbies besides gaming and working on this channel? Reading. You could probably just tell from my room. Reading, music, and hanging out with my cat. Yeah. How about you, Jack?
Would I play games? Absolutely, with fans. Where do I live? I'm based up in the northwest, in a town that's not far from sort of Manchester, Liverpool way. But I was born in the southeast, so I've basically done the exact opposite. Favourite colours? White, but probably navy blue, which I'm sporting. Favourite non-pet animals? Oh my god. I really don't know. I really can't think of one because I put dogs so fucking high up that I can't even think of anything else that I'm remotely. But I like all animals, to be honest. What religion do you believe in? I don't have a religion. Do you believe destiny and fate? I don't know. I believe that you've got to shape your own path and run with that. And what are your hobbies? So I like reading. I like reading crime thrillers, horror. You can see where it comes into the channel, kind of. Obviously, I like playing video games. I like watching football. I like playing pool and snooker with mates. And that's pretty much it. So Dimitar asks, out of the celebrity actors we had season 1, which one would you say is your favourite alongside their character and why? And would you like to have a Supermassive title where the female characters actually get along from the beginning? Yes, I would, because it's remarkable how many games there are where females don't get along. I know you get like Emma and Abigail in The Quarry, but just the number of examples that it's opposite is silly. as far as celebrity actors in season 1, Paul K for me. Not to say that the others were bad or anything, but I don't know. There's just something about it's the British bias, probably. Shoot me. But yeah, I think the performance was great. The character was very fun. I think as well it helps that I've seen him in other things, whereas with the other actors, I mean, admittedly, I've seen Will Poulter in like Midsummer and one of the Maze Runner films, but I feel like I'm probably perhaps more connected to Paul K and what he's done previously. So yeah, he's my pick.
Yeah, like, I mean, I like Paul K as well. Like, I know he did the voice acting for that, Charlie, and he's just my favourite character in the whole thing. So yeah, gotta be him. But I'll narrow it down for you and pick one out the main 4 celebrities that you get throughout the games. And I'm gonna say Sean Bailey. No. 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 We can go all night. No. You fucker. I'm going to go with Sean Ashmore, Conrad in Man of Medan. I thought his performance was brilliant. I would want to give it to Will Poulter, but I've commented on it previously. I thought, like, you know, Little Hope didn't bring out the best in him. It's one of his most wooden performances. And despite the fact that Ashley Tisdale and Jessie Buckley were pretty good in their roles, I just think Sean Ashmore brought something different to, you know, Conrad as a character, and I do appreciate that. Next question we have is Jody R27. Obviously, these games have all been standalone, and I doubt there's any chance any of them will get sequels, but if one of them were to get a sequel, which would you like? Now, I think Jack and I are strongly going to say no, they're anthologies, leave them be. I do not want an anthology. But if I did have to pick one, it would probably be... I mean, The Devil in Me probably has the most scope for a sequel. If, you know, you have, like, you know, the group that have to go back on the island. So you could argue that. Personally, from a point of view, from a blind playthrough perspective, in Man of Medan, Conrad was left abandoned on the ship because the group left without him, and he went early, and he came back on with the Coast Guard. So I'd love to know what happened to Conrad. So yeah, let's give me a sequel with him so I can find out what happened to my boy.
For me... I mean, I don't know, are we including Until Dawn? Actually, you know what? I probably wouldn't have a sequel from them games anyway. I think I'd have to just say The Devil in Me, yeah. Especially with the ending, you see someone else pick up the mask. It could be a completely different person. I don't know, you could spin it that way. You've got the characters there ready, going to a new hotel or whatever. So yeah, I think The Devil in Me. So this one's from your bro, mate. Luke, who says, if you and Laura from the quarry were alone in a cabin and the winds were going at 32.8 miles per hour, but then a radio forecast tells you that sea lions are the only animal that can clap to a rhythm, not forgetting this a leap year, what colour socks would you have on?
I wouldn't be wearing socks. God damn it. Yeah, I'd be in bare feet. What? Idiot.
He's not wearing socks. If he's with Laura, he's not wearing socks.
Exactly. What a stupid question that is. Nah, very good question, though. Next question is from my other brother, Adam. And he says, when are you doing Bailey-related merch? Not going to happen because she's being really loud. If anyone's getting merch, it's that angel right over there. Rebe, I'm going to put you on a t-shirt soon. You better believe it. Love you.
Excuse me. The fuck did you just say?
Yeah, Bella's left the room, so she can't have a debut at the moment. But who knows? We could go two-pronged again with the pets. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how big we get.
Yeah, there'll definitely be our pets before Craig gets any merch. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Next question is from Brian. Hey again, Brian. Do you think that playing as a grey character is most rewarding in games like Wolf Among Us and Detroit Become Human? Goody two-shoes are too boring, and being a jerk in every scene feels too much.
I mean, I guess so. I just like variety. I like the fact that one day I can pick up a game and I can be Max Caulfield, who's a bit of a blank canvas, and the next I can play Wolf Among Us, where, you know, you can play the game in a variety of ways. I often feel that, like, main characters are a bit grey anyway, giving you that scope to be what you want. So it's a bit of a tough question to answer, but we recently covered The Wolf Among Us, and I think that's great because, like, I think it's great if you have a character that you can actually play in a multitude of ways. You can make Bigby this dick who just rips people's arms off, doesn't care about opinions, or you could actually play things by the book and get Snow to like you and respect you more. So yeah, like I really enjoyed that experience and looking back at Big B. So like honestly, like Big B Wolf is like a prime example of how to build a main character, in my opinion.
I think for me, it's not as big a deal playing as a grey character because, like Liam said, I think you're naturally more outward looking anyway. The choices you make are sort of going to be. I mean, if you replay the game, you can do a goody two shoes playthrough and then a dickhead playthrough. It sort of enables the replayability. But I think it's more the looking outward at other characters that are grey. I think that's what's more important to me, not necessarily the one that you play as.
Then we've got Sir Tipsy. How did you get to explore that mansion? I mean, okay, so truthfully, it's not my mansion. I'll be honest. I lied. I did it for the video. I did it for the Vine, guys. Realistically, me and my friend group from my town here, once a year we do a Airbnb getaway where we just get out, you know, and meet up and, you know, just like have a weekend or a few days off to relax. And we outdid ourselves, honestly. We went in late August, early September, and we went to a really lovely place in a village called like Tolpuddle in Dorset, and it was an absolute massive mansion. We didn't realise we booked a mansion. I feel like the Airbnb hosts, it was like their first time hosting, and they didn't really know prices that well because we absolutely got a bargain steal. The whole place had like a games room, at the swimming pool. I mean, you saw it in the video. We completely underpaid for that experience. It was brilliant. At one point, we just played a massive game of sardines, which is like reverse hide and seek, and it was just fantastic. So yeah, like yeah, that's why we did it. And the moment I got there, my eyes lit up. I was like, I've got to make a chat. Wasn't even thinking about a channel the whole time. I just kind of wanted to let go of like online a little bit and just like, you know, enjoy my holiday. But I just was like, I have to make an MTV Cribs video because I remember growing up as a kid and just seeing all these celebrities introduce their massive houses. And even back then, I thought that's quite pompous and big-headed of like how they're showing off how rich they are. And I just wanted to make an absolute parody of that. And I'm so glad I did because I was really happy with how that video turned out.
No, I wasn't there. Boo! So yeah, the next few questions is from GC Needlemouse on our Discord, who asks, with this new game Supermassive is making with Dead by Daylight, is there any crossover or collaboration you guys Supermassive do with other companies or even with other movies, TV series for another choice-based game? As for me, like I said already, definitely Scream.
Fuck it, I'm just going to say Stranger Things. That'd be cool. I'm obsessed with anything 80s synthwave. Stranger Things could be a really cool thing to go down. TellTale nearly did it, so it'd be cool if Supermassive Games did it instead. Why not? Okay, and we're going to do another one you've picked here, your final one, which is which actor/actress from the DPA Season 1 each one of you would like to interview for your channel. So if I could interview anyone, it's a tough one because, like, realistically you could say Paul Kay, but I'm happy with the fact that we got Simon Bond. I'd probably go... I kind of want to... It's tough because if I'm just doing it off the performance alone, I wouldn't pick Will Poulter. But if I could pick anyone to interview, it would be Will Poulter. So it's like, kind of, am I going for the character or the actor? But like, if I'm being selfish, I really like Will Poulter, not only as a person, but like as an actor as well. I think he's really gifted and talented. Jack would enjoy him as well because I'm pretty sure he's a massive Arsenal fan. So yeah, let's get Will Poulter on the show.
I think I have to agree, to be honest. The thing is, there's going to be other things you can ask. Not to say that we can't ask other things to the other actors, but Ashley Tisdale, I think's from Disney. I mean, I just don't relate to that at all. Jessie Buckley, I think I've seen her in one film, so potentially, but I think with Will Poulter there's potentially a little bit more that, you know, Black Mirror Bandersnatch, the Maze Runner film, Midsummer, I think there's more that we could get out of it besides Little Hope. So yeah, I think I'd say the same.
Okay, moving on to X, our final platform for questions. Christian R says, if you could have dinner with anyone alive, who would it be? Oh, good question. Most people say anyone dead, and then you pick up like David Bowie or Michael Jackson or something like that, but you're picking alive. Anyone who knows me really well, who knows the channel really well, knows that I absolutely love the band Wolf Alice, so it would have to be the lead singer, Ellie Rousel. Because like, not only like would I have an amazing time talking about the music and stuff, but you know, like, looks like a genuine down-to-earth person as well, and yeah, I just think it would be a really cool experience. So yeah, Ellie Rousel from the band Wolf Alice.
As for me, I'd probably pick so yeah, they've got to be alive, haven't they? I'd pick Ricky Gervais, probably my favourite comedian. I just love the humour, to be honest. I love the shows that he's done as well. And then the other person would probably be Pierce Brosnan, who was my James Bond, you could call it, in terms of growing up. You've got the video games that he's in as well. So yeah, I'll pick them two. Yes, we got a question here from Good, who says, do you think Will Biles, who obviously game directed Until Dawn the Quarry, are him leaving Supermassive Games to establish a new company, Dial M for Monkey, basically what type of games we'll get? For me, I wouldn't want a carbon copy of what Supermassive do. For me, I think it's a brilliant opportunity to explore different genres. I've been beating this drum for a while now. As you know, I like Heavy Rain. I liked Hidden Agenda as well. I know we've not covered it on the channel yet, but crime as a genre, I'd be pushing that forward for definite. And do you know what I mean? It's sort of you can take it, in many different ways, many different genres. So yeah, I'd probably pick that.
Yeah, and like Supermassive Games, like as we've mentioned previously, they're not just a choice-based game company. They do a lot of other games as well. So they do stuff like Little Nightmares. So yeah, maybe I'd like to do something like what they're doing with Little Nightmares 3, see more sort of like platformer games, like 2D style, and yeah, like have some really cool, interesting things such as that. Our final set of questions are from Cumberly.
How many kids do you want? What is your biggest fear? What is a talent nobody knows you have, and what superpower would you have? So, first one, how many kids do you want? Probably cliche, probably 2, 1 boy, 1 girl. What is your biggest fear?
Trees.
Yeah, that's where my hatred spawns from. What is a talent nobody knows you have? Now, this question, I'm not even answering it because I'm gonna let Laura answer this one. And what she says is my talent. I have an innate ability to wind her up just by breathing. just by being there, sometimes she can get wound up. In terms of a superpower, for me it would be to teleport. I feel like so many things would get solved if you could teleport. So I'll just be like, yeah, I want to go to the Caribbean for the weekend, and then I'm there.
For me, how many kids do I want? I would like 9 cats. What is your biggest fear? I've got a bit of a weird one. People might know this, but I'm chitinophobic, which means I have a crippling phobia of swans. There's reasons why, which you'll have to ask and find out in our next year's Q&A video. But now, cannot handle them. I have my reasons, alright? And a talent nobody knows I have. Well, honestly, they don't know I have it, nor do I. I don't know. So, yeah, talentless. What superpower would I have? I would like the ability to grow trees around Jack. Nah, for real though. I saw this, I used to watch that show, Heroes, and for me it's a superpower. No one really talks about, maybe because it's not really a common one. But for me, there was this girl in the 2nd season of Heroes where she would watch a martial arts video and then she would learn it. So she watched a WWE video, and then later on at a job, someone tries to rob the fast food restaurant she worked at, and she did the wrestling moves on the robber. So you could do it with anything. You could just watch someone play piano, then you could learn piano. You could watch someone fight, then you'd learn how to fight. So yeah, mine would be the ability to learn by watch, which I think is a fantastic power to have. What is the most embarrassing memory from school? I mean, the whole fucking thing, really.
I find, because I've been thinking about this, I find I've had more post-school. I don't know, I might have just repressed a lot. Yeah. I might have just repressed the bad ones from school. It was embarrassing at the time, but we was in class, and it must have been coming to end of term, something like that. You know when teachers just half-arse it, they're just oh, we're done, let's just start playing games and you can do what you want. So it was this game where someone would go to the front of the class and they'd have their back to everyone, and then someone from within the rest of the class would then have to stand up and put a funny voice on, or just a different voice to disguise it, and then the person at the front would have to guess whose voice it was. And I sat there, I was sort of feeling it out for a little while. I was like, okay, just sort of, you know, watch how it plays out. Someone goes up, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna go, it's my turn, you know. So I stand up, and I won't be able to do it now because obviously I'm older, voice has dropped. I'll just put on this really sort of squeaky old woman voice, like, oh, hello dear, you know what I mean, like something like that. And straight away they go, oh, that's Jack Kelly. And I'm like, like that. And then, so like, everyone's then laughing. So I'm sort of like then sitting down, like sort of head down. And then the teacher joins in. The teacher then goes, yeah, Jack, the whole point of this game is you've got to disguise your voice. And I'm sitting like, oh. And I'm there like, fucking hell, like everyone's like chiming in on me, so.
Yeah, I think I've told you this one in the past, Jack, but one that's just come to my mind is because I was thinking secondary, I couldn't really get one, but like I'm gonna take it back to primary school. Now we had to move schools, but you know, basically the charges were dropped. But regardless, we were at this new school, and we went to the cafeteria. And another little side note here is that my mum was a dinner lady at the school, so she was serving the lunches. Now, I always was a packed lunch kid. I've never gone to a school cafeteria where you get your tray. I didn't know how it worked. I was this shy, nervous kid. I didn't know like what I was allowed. So I just thought, safe bet. I was behind a kid who was in my last class. I'm just going to copy everything he does. And I went in copy mode. So this kid picked up a carton of milk. I picked up a carton of milk. The kid asked for chicken nuggets. I asked for chicken nuggets. Like the kid picked up the sponge cake. I picked up a sponge cake. I literally carbon copied him. Anyway, this kid, that's in front of me, turns around and trips up, and his tray goes everywhere. There's like a milk explosion. He's on the floor. The whole cafeteria just looking at this kid. He must have been absolutely embarrassed. And I don't recall this, but as you remember, my mum is dinner lady and witnessed this whole thing. I was still in copy mode. Apparently, I just got my tray and just chucked it at the floor as well. And he just was like, yeah, this is how it's done, right? I don't know how old I was, maybe 4 or 5, but that's something that happened. But the thing is, though, everyone was just looking at this kid, and they would have just all, everyone would have seen this. That it's just me there going, just raging and throwing it on the floor. And apparently one of, my mum's colleagues was like, isn't that your son? And my mum just went, no. So, yeah, that, that might be up there, actually, one of the most embarrassing moments.
I mean, I feel like you've outdone me there, because it was just a random French teacher that did me and you, your own mum.
Yeah, my own mum, yeah. Yeah.
That's not my son.
Yeah, basically. Oh, it's fucking horror.
No. Okay, guys, so that was our Q&A session to wrap up the year of 2023. We'd just like to say thank you very much to everyone that asked their questions. They were a lot of fun to read and answer. From me, have a good new year. We're going to be back next year. More of the same, more analysis. And of course, we've got quite a few new games coming out next year as well. Cast of Frank Stone, Wolf Among Us 2, Directive 8020. So it could be a very good year. But yeah, just happy new year from me, and glad you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, from me, guys, just thank you for all the support you've given us. The channel continues to grow. We'd probably stop doing it if you just weren't as supportive as you were. So we appreciate everything. Thank you to everyone as well who's I started streaming this year, and that's been really successful. We recently did Heavy Rain, and that was just an absolute blast playing that game with you all. Be sure to check out our Twitch, which I'll link in the description, which Jack is going to host. So for those interested in watching Jack play games, please do that. And like Jack said, so many games, we're going to cover all of them. I think 2024 is going to be a lot more of a proactive year for us. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in 2024.
Okay, guys, catch you later.